I'm Susan J. Farese, and I am the president and owner of SJF Communications. And our tagline is Creative Ideas, Dynamic Results. We provide a variety of services, PR, public relations, publicity, marketing, writing services, photography, legal nurse consulting every once in a while as I'm an RN, as well as mentoring and coaching. I just work with a graphic artist, and we rebranded my company, SJF, to incorporate the motto, and our symbol is the hummingbird. And on the back of the business card, I describe what I do. I have a bachelor's and master's in nursing, so that has nothing to do with PR. However, it does because it led me to where I am today. So I have, experience in healthcare, and I also have a daughter who is in musical productions as well as theater and film, and grew into PR through her. I would write up a press release and just see if the director would want me to send that to the paper, just because I wanted to get the word out about the kids. And it grew and evolved, and in it was like 2010 or 11, I was asked to be on the board of a regional theater here, and that grew into a 5-year PR position as well as board member. And since 2016, I've been freelancing with PR. I love getting the word out. I love sharing the buzz, spreading the buzz. I'm excited about telling the world about what my clients are doing. Many of my clients are very introverted and they're into their process, but not into verbalizing or getting the word out about what they do. So that's how I help them. Sometimes I work with clients on a monthly basis. Sometimes it's a project basis that goes, because we've worked on a few things together. Sometimes they're a few months worth. Sometimes it's a one-time deal. Sometimes it's maybe I'll meet a person 3 times within 5 months. Every client has different needs that I try to meet. I try to personalize the service to what their needs are. I don't say yes all the time. I either meet with people or write back and forth, or am referred by people now. I'm at the point where it's word of mouth, and sometimes it just doesn't work out. So I guess it would be selective on who I work with. I work with this wonderful classical musician. She's phenomenal. And we have sold out her concerts locally as well as in New York City at Carnegie Hall. And I knew nothing about New York as far as radio stations, television stations, or anything. I had to start from scratch. So I have to be really resourceful to build a list of contacts with each client. I enjoy working with authors recently. When their book is finally born, they need to get the word out about it so people know about it so they can buy it. It doesn't just happen like that. So that's really intriguing to me. It's their baby, and they may be very introverted about it and just not comfortable with spreading the buzz. So I've been working this past several months with libraries and bookstores, independent bookstores and such, to get my authors there to do book signings and discussions and readings. That's a lot of fun. I loved theater PR too. I've met so many interesting people doing theater PR for press night, and having the reviewers come to the table and check in and making sure they have their packet, and then following up with people. There's a lot of follow-up with every type of client I have. Businesses as well. I take some photography, some B-roll photography, to highlight them in a positive light if their headshots, for instance, are not up to par. So I do a variety of things depending on what the client needs or what I and they decide that they need together. Now, I've had some inquiries recently from different states, and we go back and forth and see if it's a good match. Because if I don't know that media market, it's again reinventing the wheel from the beginning to establish all the contacts and everything, and that takes a lot of energy and time. So at this point, not too much out of the county. There is never a typical day in my life, which I love because I tend to dislike the routine. I really enjoy change and starting new ventures. But a typical day, if I were to say, would be definitely emailing, texting, phone calls, meetings with clients every now and then, Skype interviews, lots of research, looking at social media, posting events on social media on my page, And also monitoring what my clients do on social media. Sometimes they just need to think a little bit harder on what they put out there, because things are just not professional at times. And so I'm kind of a monitor that way as well, because they're representing themselves, I'm representing them to the world, and sometimes they mess up. So and myself, I learn continually on what works and what doesn't. The thing about social media is it's not just liking something, it's commenting and being interactive and sharing, because that's easy. But to get the word out more, there has to be more interaction. Be careful what you post. Different social media is for different purpose. I am not political at all on my posts. I just don't think there's a place for that with me. Be very careful with that. Because you could turn off someone that might be a client or a person you could work with just because of that difference. And we're all here together. We need to just acknowledge our differences and see how we can work together. You have to develop your personal brand, and make what's unique about you. What's unique about me is I have a lot of energy, I'm creative, I have a lot of ideas, and I get things done. And it comes from military experience, nursing experience, many geographical moves, starting over, change, just different themes in my life. So everyone should think about what makes you unique. Capitalize on what you think your strengths are, your passions are, what you're inspired by. I love photography, nature photography specifically. I love bird watching, bird listening. Theater, film. Love to see film, because I'm an actor. So those are the 4 that I've been practicing recently, and I just need it every once in a while. I need to just escape and do those things for me. I was in 2 exhibits this past year. Both were veteran exhibits, because I'm a veteran. One was in Coronado for the months of November through February, and then the other was in Connecticut at a maritime aquarium kind of a place for the month of November, for Veterans Month. So that propelled me into doing kind of more of a professional photography. I don't try to pile too much in a day. I don't try to stress myself out by taking on too much or too many people in the same time frame. Just be careful with your schedule. I do use the phone calendar, and sometimes I use a paper calendar as well. I usually always carry a notepad in my car, but I'm constantly juggling my schedule as well. Think. What drives you? What motivates you? What do you love in life? Develop a website. I did mine on WordPress. I went to a few courses, but I also learned about it just looking at videos or whatever, and established an identity in 2014 on my own and built it as time went by. So different pages of your website can show some of your passions as well. Each person that I've interviewed has something to do with either the work that we were doing or someone in my life that I think is inspirational and extraordinary. So there are several of them on there. Like, one's an astronomy professor. One is a person that has stage 4 breast cancer that's a friend of the family that I've known for a long time. One is a journalist who's phenomenal as well. People that I've either been touched by, inspired by, motivated by, like extraordinary people. I haven't done one in a while, but I really enjoy that. And I don't know, it just opens up another world to learn what they deal with all the time, what their stresses are. I'm getting too big for myself, I think.